In the beginning of the story, Michael reveals the secret of his famous French toast to Stevie while Jen helps from the side, painting a picture of a perfect, united home. But Stevie's voice interrupts the illusion. She warns us not to trust what we're seeing. Families that look this perfect usually appear moments before chaos strikes, and her family is no different. Stevie says perfection never lasts. Her family's trouble began when her little brother was born. She doesn't blame him, but life got messy fast. Then she reveals the truth. This whole scene is only a dream, with pacifiers raining from the sky as her parents try to calm the crying baby. They say dreams are the mind's way of trying to fix your problems in the real world, but lately Stevie dreams keeps turning into nightmares. Her parents argued about who was going to pay the house bill, and they as well couldn't find the solution to make her baby calm. Stevie wakes up from the dream. It is revealed that she's now a teenager, and her baby brother Elliot is not a baby anymore. She hears her parents arguing outside her room and noticed Elliot sleep talking about a giant hot dog about to eat him. She turns on a sleeping machine that makes him fall back into deep sleep and then goes out of her room to listen to what her parents are arguing about. Stevie finds out that her parents are going broke. Her mom has been trying to convince her dad to give up on music and try getting a real job, but her dad believes he could have created his album years ago. If his lead singer didn't give up on him, he doesn't want to stop music. Stevie is sad that her family is not the happy family like before, but instead of accepting this change, she decided to work things through to try and make her family remember how great things used to be. She decided to make a French toast her parents used to make together for breakfast. Just as she walks to the kitchen, she stepped on a rancid meat Elliot dropped on the floor. Their room appeared to be so messy because Elliot scattered his toys and food all over the place. She begins to prepare the French toast, but Elliot keeps annoying her, insisting he wants to show her a magic trick. She gets distracted dragging a kitchen spoon with Elliot, and the food burns in the process. After she was done cooking breakfast, she set everything up in the dining table and goes to her dad's room to lie that her mom made breakfast for him. He looks so surprised. Stevie as well entered her mom's room to say that her dad made her breakfast. The mom is as well surprised. Stevie is able to make her parents eat together at the same table and after a long time, but her brother Elliot doesn't make things easy as usual. Just then, Stevie plans to keep her parents together as ruined when her mom reveals that she will be leaving town tomorrow because the University of Duluth is looking for an associate professor, and she wants to apply for the job. Her dad isn't happy about it, but tries not to show it. Stevie could tell because of his fake smile. When her dad stylishly left the dining table, Steve boldly asks her mom if all these is about money. She's willing to do a fake ID to work at supermarket or apply for a babysitting job just to keep her parents together. But her mom assures her that it's just an interview. The chances of her getting the job is low. She tells Stevie that while she's gone, she should make sure she finds Elliot a book for his report. Stevie tries to stay calm, trying to convince herself that her mom and dad will figure things out, but her annoying little brother shows up again. He reminds her that she's supposed to help him find a book for his report. She takes him to the bookstore and tells Elliot to select a classic book to analyze, as it impresses teachers. Elliot sees a place that says employees only and decided to go check it out. Meanwhile, Stevie finds a poster for their mom and dad first show and tries to show Elliot, but doesn't see him around. Junbei, a worker at the library, shows up to ask her what she wants, and it appears that Stevie is already in love with him at first sight. Elliot finds an old box. He opens it to find a special book there titled The Legend of the Sandman, the Giver of Dreams. Stevie asks him what he's doing down here and checks out the book he's holding, but sees that the book is mostly pictures. It's not even a real book. The lights in the room mysteriously started to blink. Junbei shows up to tell them they're not supposed to be here, and they left. They packed as much classic books, and Stevie asks Elliot the one he wants to analyze to his teacher, and Elliot brings out the Sandman book. Stevie is upset because he stole the book from the bookstore, but Elliot defends that the tag said it was priceless, obviously means it's free. Elliot shows Stevie a page from the book that said the Sandman can make your dreams come through. But Stevie calls her brother gullible because none of that is real. Elliot tells Stevie that if the Sandman can make his dream come through, he will have a jetpack, a six-pack, and his fist will be made out of dynamite. He then asks what Stevie dreams is. She looks at the picture of her parents. It's obvious that she just wants their family to be together and happy like before. But she lies to Elliot that her wish is just to have her own room. At 12 midnight, Stevie hears strange noises in the room. She wakes up to see Elliot bed moving and wakes Elliot up. The bed moves and collapses the wall of their room. Stevie can't believe this is happening, but Elliot is excited that this is actually happening. The bed takes Elliot out of the house, and Stevie follows them, clinging to his bed sheet. All of a sudden, the bed starts to fly. Elliot realizes he's actually the one controlling the bed. He moves it wherever he wants it to, while Stevie is just being scared as the bed moves like a rocket. Elliot noticed the bed isn't even moving at full speed, as there is a rocket button at the side of the bed. Against his sister's wishes, he presses the button, and it flies them at full speed that they even reach the moon. Stevie changes from being scared to being amazed with the beautiful shining lights around them. She touched one of the lights, and a shadow of the legendary Sandman appears to them and says they should come find him and their dreams will come true. All of a sudden, their bed stops flying, and the both siblings started to fall from the sky. Stevie wakes up to realize it's just a dream. But she realized it's not just a dream because Elliot had exactly the same dream. Later that night, Stevie hears her parents arguing again. While her mom was leaving for the interview, her dad tries to convince her that their life is here. They wrote their best songs here and their kids were born here. How could she leave all that behind? But her mom replies that it's because things has changed. This will be a good job that pays more, and the kids will be in a better school district. She's just trying to do what's best for their family. Just after her parents separated, Stevie goes to look at the Sandman book again. She decided to believe in the Sandman legends and chants the write-up in the book saying, "Sandman, I call on to you, grant me my dreams, make them come true." Stevie suddenly wakes up and is terrified to see a donut talking to her. She suddenly understands that it's just the dream she wished for coming to pass. She has always wished for a breakfast town. Now she's in a town with foods living in it. Stevie decided to go find the Sandman, but she's upset to find Elliot in the dream and he keeps annoying her as usual. They hear a voice from nowhere who says he can help them find the Sandman. They track down the voice to see a toy stuck in an object. As they help the toy out, Elliot is so happy to see that it's his toy from the real world, which he named Tony. Tony shows them where they can find the Sandman, but warns them that if they try to find the Sandman, they must have to get through Nightmare first. Stevie replies that a little nightmare is not going to stop her, but all of a sudden, her teeth started to fall off. Everywhere started to get dark. Tony tells them that Nightmare is here. She's the giver of nightmares. They must get through her if they want to reach the Sandman. Everything started turning into a nightmare. The friendly foods turned into terrifying monsters. Nightmare is trying to use these to scare them and other to wake them up so they won't get to the Sandman. Elliot is terrified, and this makes Stevie and Elliot to wake up from the dream. Elliot says he is not going back to such a dream again. Stevie is happy as he won't be with her again to ruin her dreams. She opens the Sandman book to find out that she and Elliot are psychically linked, because they both said the chant at the same time. This means she can't get to the Sandman unless they go back to the dream together. Elliot refuses to go back to the dream. He doesn't want to face Nightmare, so Stevie can get her own room. Let me explain. Stevie once lied to Elliot that her dream is to get her own room away from Elliot, but her actual dream is just to get their parents together. Believing Stevie dreams is not worth going to face Nightmare for, Elliot decided to tape his eyes so he won't sleep and go back to the dream with Stevie. But Elliot gets scared as Stevie brings out his turtle sleeping machine that normally makes Elliot fall asleep. It has been working since when he was a baby. Elliot tries to drag the machine out of her hand. During the struggle, the machine falls and breaks in the process. The next day, their dad takes them to a restaurant to eat. Just as Michael gets distracted trying to put Elliot in order, Stevie looks at his phone and finds out that her mom got the job, and her parents are getting a divorce. She tells Elliot about it later that night. Elliot is sad about it, especially knowing the divorce might separate him from Stevie. He also got to know that Stevie's dream wasn't to get a different room away from Elliot, but she has always wanted her parents' music to be successful and bring them together. Elliot then gives Stevie the turtle machine so they can both fall asleep to meet the Sandman and make their dream come true. Just as they sleep together, they wake up Elliot dream. Elliot sees all the toys he likes there, but Stevie tells him to assure her that nothing scary should wake him up. After that, Stevie tells Nightmare that she can't stop them from reaching Sandman this time. Nightmare suddenly turns all the toys into a gigantic badger that tries to smash them, and this wakes them up. They get back into the dream again. This time, it was their grandma attacking them. Stevie is shocked because Elliot is scared of grandma. Scary stuffs keep waking them up repeatedly. Scary stuffs like Stevie failing her exams, foods about to execute them, but all these didn't stop them from not returning to the dream. In the next dream, a toy bear tries to smash them. Elliot and Stevie decided to hold hands and stay strong enough not to wake up. This actually works, as Elliot becomes strong enough to stop the toy bear attack. The both siblings realize that if they hold hands and think the same thing at the same time, they can lucid dream. The both siblings then produce a dynamite fist and explodes the toy bear charging towards them. The siblings celebrate, and just as their bed flies them to reach Sandman, they get attacked by a very powerful hurricane sent by Nightmare. Nightmare whispers to them to wake up, but they refuse to. They open their eyes when the disaster stops and finds themselves in a place full of sand. A very beautiful sand castle shows up in front of them. Elliot and Stevie then hold hold their hands together and fly into the building. What they saw next was so amazing. Inside, the building is so beautiful. They saw thousands of sandlings working there. When they saw Elliot and Stevie, they immediately lead them to a staircase when the Sandman comes out and introduced himself to them. He welcomes them to his sandcastle and tells them that it's been ages since anyone made it past Nightmare. Sandman tells them to state their dream. Stevie replies that he should just make their family together and happy again. He takes them to a room and instructs them that all they need to do is to turn the hourglass. When the last grain of sand falls, their dreams will be sealed into the fabric of reality. Just as Elliot and Stevie push the hourglass, they wake up from their dream. They hear a sound downstairs. When they go to check, they see their mom has returned home. The family had a perfect breakfast together, and they all begin to have an amazing moment together as a family. To Stevie's excitement, her mom tells her that she's not going to take the job again, and she hugs her parents in joy. Finally, they're going to be one happy family again. After a goodnight kiss by their parents, Stevie begins to notice something really off. She noticed her family frame, which 6 was broken before, is now fixed. Elliot noticed his toys are now fixed and doesn't smell the way it used to. Even their room that is always tattered is all neat. It was at this moment that both siblings realized that none of all these is real. This is just another dream. After they realized it all, the dream ends and they return back to the Sandman. Sandman tells them that they have to stay in the dream until the last grain of sand falls, and then they will forget that their dream is not real. They will just be living a life that is not real without them knowing it. This is what it takes to make their dreams come through. Elliot sees that Sandman is not to be trusted and tries to drag his sister away, but Sandman convinces Stevie that he knows her parents' thoughts and deepest desires, and they don't including each other anymore. Stevie believes Sandman is right. Living a life that is not real might be the only way they can all stay together as family. Elliot tries to stop her from going back to the dream, but out of anger, Stevie pushes Elliot away and goes back to the dream of her parents being together. Elliot wakes up from the sleep to reality and sees that Stevie is still sleeping. We come to understand that if you don't leave the dream created by the Sandman before all the sand falls, you will be stuck in that dream forever. Elliot calls their dad when Stevie doesn't wake up, and they rushed her to the hospital. Her both parents are present there, and they were told by the doctor that her vitals are fine, but wonders why she doesn't wake up. Elliot tells them about Stevie, wish for them to stay together so they can all be happy again. Meanwhile, in Stevie's dream, Stevie is having a happy moment with her family, but without Elliot. When she enters her room, she sees Elliot doll here and started to miss him. She recalls a time when they were much younger. She was trying to win a doll but didn't win any. Elliot decided to give her his favorite doll just to make her happy. They both agreed to share the doll as siblings. Stevie tries to go out of the dream and return to her home in the real world, but she can't get out. Elliot hears Stevie call her name while she's asleep, and he decides to rescue his sister. Elliot explains the whole story to his parents, but they appear confused. No time to explain further as he picks up the sleeping machine which he used to fall asleep. Just as he got into the dream, he prepares himself to face Nightmare again to get to Sandman. Stevie cries as she isn't able to get out of the dream, but Elliot suddenly enters the room and she rushes to hug him. She apologized to him for everything and curiously asks him how he was able to get past Nightmare. Elliot narrates his story on how Nightmare attacked him. Nightmare suddenly reveals herself to him. She told him she's not a bad person, but has been just protecting them so they won't reach the Sandman. Her and Sandman uses to be friends until Sandman decided that dreamers shouldn't need nightmares because they're too scary, but Sandman is wrong. Nightmare makes us strong, so we can face what's really scary in life. What you just need to conquer all is love. Just after Elliot tells her everything, they both left the dream back to the sandcastle. Sandman is furious. He tells them Nightmare isn't protecting them. She's preventing them from the ultimate dream come true. But Stevie's mind is made up. She tries to hold Elliot's hand so they can go home, but Sandman stops them. The siblings get into their flying bed and goes to push the hourglass to return back to their real home. Sandman tries to stop them by ordering his sandlings to attack them. Just as Sandman laughed, believing he's winning, their parents shows up at the dream to help them. Stevie pushes the rock at bottom, and they got to where the hourglass is. Just as the last sand is about to fall, Stevie and Elliot hold hands, and it freezes. The whole family reunite again. Jen makes Stevie understand that even though there's about to be some changes, no matter what happens, they will always love her and will always be a family. Stevie and Elliot turns their fist into dynamite and broke the hourglass, and they all went out of the dream. In the final moments, Elliot tells us that even though things didn't return to how they once were, they're stepping into a new beginning in Duluth. Their mom follows her career, their dad follows his music, and together, as a family, they move into a new life filled with hope.